must unlearn what you have learned.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Smart Wars, the podcast based off of Star Wars and anything else sci-fi that is designed specifically to make you wicked smart. Yes, it's all based off of the perspective of somebody from Boston. That's me. My name's Lucas. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever on this planet you reside. Now, it took me a while to put this one together because the title that, as you've probably noticed if you listen to my podcast, everything is, Star Wars based, but, I do throw a little bit of other sci-fi in there. But the main goal is to motivate you to another level of your life. And it doesn't have to be a big level. It could be maybe just a small step in the right direction. Because I know for me personally, there's been moments where I felt just stuck. And felt like there's no way out. I can't get past certain things. But having had certain experiences over the last, I'll say 10 years, I've been able to overcome a lot. And it's my hope that through my experiences or through the experiences of others, which I do have plans to interview some friends as well as other people that have had an impact in my life and probably yours as well. The goal is to really help you get past everything. Because all of us in life at some point, we have something that really holds us back. And what's ridiculous about some of these things is it's stuff that's just in our mind. It's in our head. It's maybe a thought. And if you really give a lot of thought to that, then it really comes off as kind of ridiculous. Because, if it's a thought, it doesn't mean it's real. It's not tangible. It's not like it's something physical that's standing in front of you that's saying, hey, you can't do this and I'm going to stomp you. It's really you stopping yourself. And it's the same with me. It's me stopping myself. Of course, granted, yes, we all make decisions. We may pursue a course that, it looks like it's going to be good. It's going to bring, maybe some financial success, or it's going to bring a new version of happiness. And the next thing you know, you're like, well, this isn't what I thought it was going to be at all. And so that's why I went into this particular topic today and why it took me a little while to really put it together. The topic based off of what you heard at the very beginning of this podcast, Yoda telling Luke, you must unlearn what you have learned. Really, what did he mean by that? What point was he trying to get across, and how is that applicable to you and me? You see, Luke, in this particular episode, the little corner of the Star Wars universe, he's really showing the truth about himself. Yes, he wants to be something greater. But he has doubts. He's got all these struggles inside of him. Yoda's busy trying to teach him, what the Force is and how powerful it can be, and how him being used as a conduit to this unlimited power can truly change who he is. But Luke has this, he's already got a past. He already has a history of everything holding him back, whether it was where he lived on the desert planet of Tatooine, or his aunt and uncle before they became the crispy bodies by the door. They held him back, and they basically looked at what his past was, what his family line was. They said, we can't let him go out there because he'll become just like his dad. And his uncle was like, that's what I'm afraid of. They were terrified at the possibilities, but sometimes in life, we have to look at what's possible. What is out there that can really propel us to a level of greatness, not really for ourselves, but for the betterment of other people. And that's probably what they failed to realize about Luke, is that Luke, yes, his dad was powerful, and his dad was truly desirous of helping people, and he showed love. But if you've ever watched everything related to Star Wars, including the Clone Wars cartoon series, and for those of you out there who like Star Wars and you have neglected watching those two, Clone Wars and Rebels, because it's a cartoon, I'm going to say this very clearly. Get over yourself and watch it. Because good grief, they are fantastic. Yeah, some episodes are crap. I'm not going to lie. Some of them are really cheesy and it's just like, I didn't have to watch that one. But at least it's not The Last Jedi. At least it's not that. Seriously, Rebels, Clone Wars, amazing. I personally prefer Rebels over Clone Wars, but you learn so much. And you can see aspects of Anakin, and you learn about his true desire to help people, but also his pull to the dark side because there was more power there. And Yoda even addressed that when he told Luke that the dark side was easier, more seductive. And you see a lot of people who don't reach their goals, it's because they're going down the path that's easier. And so because Anakin made those choices, look what happened. Look what happened to him. Look what happened to his wife. Look what happened to the rest of his friends. The whole Jedi Order. All because he went down an easy path. Now Luke showed signs, little hints of potential connections to the dark side. But Luke wanted to be better. He had that desire. But he lacked motivation. He lacked purpose. He really lacked everything needed in that moment to do what he could do. So, when he was out there, he's trying to elevate that X-Wing out of the swamp and get himself off of that planet. And he just gave up. And he was like, it's too big. And then Yoda responded with that great line. He was like, look at me. Judge me by my size, do you? And Yoda was like, let me teach you something, buddy. So he reached out and he not only lifted it out, he kind of just like, he pulled it over and landed over somewhere else. And he was like, I can't believe it. Luke said, I don't believe it. And he said, that's why you fail. It's that belief. It's so ridiculous how inside of our mind, we can create this barrier that will hold us back from reaching so many different levels of greatness. It doesn't matter what goal you have in life. Let's address it maybe on a very simplistic level. Okay? Now, for you guys out there, maybe there's some little chickie babes, some female, some fillies, some, as the British call it, some bird. I have an idea why the British call women birds, but that's not a topic for now. I think it's kind of funny, but I don't want to insult anybody or get anybody upset. So, let's say that there's, like my dad used to call my mother, Chickie Babe. There's this Chickie Babe, right? And, you think she's kind of hot to trot, and you're trying to talk to her, you're trying to, present yourself, maybe say something smooth, but there's something inside of you that just kind of holds you back. That tiny little thing, it's just saying some words. I remember saying some words to a female a long time ago, and the whole thing just came out wrong. And like her first reaction was she laughed at me. And then she said, thanks, but no thanks. Oh, man. Oh, that really killed my strength. Because as soon as it came out of my mouth, because I was trying to tell her how attractive I thought she was. And it came out, you got a really nice face. And then like my eyes closed and I just had this look of like, oh, that was a big fail. That was a big fail. And then she kind of just chuckled and she realized that I just butchered that one. And she just responded, thanks, but no thanks. And this guy that I worked with, Mike, at least once a week, he'd come up to me and be like, hey, Lucas, thanks, but no thanks. And you see, sometimes it's those tiny moments. It's those little pieces of life that create that whole mindset of we can't do it. But it's just a thought. It's just a moment. The only thing that holds you back ever in life is yourself. So whether it's something, something small like taking a step and asking, some chickie babe, hey, would you like to get a drink on me? Or maybe you're trying to get involved into some new career that could make you absolutely successful. Or maybe you just want to follow a dream. And I'll tell you, for me, right now, I'm following a dream. Now, maybe that doesn't sound like a lot to you because I'm really just sitting here in my kitchen recording this podcast. I've done I've spoken before audiences of thousands. But, it was for other stuff that was personal. And I've done presentations for like network marketing companies, but that wasn't what motivated me. I found something that gives me a feeling of purpose and a goal to reach. And I'm highly motivated, and I find the time to make it work. So for you, again, we'll use the illustration of a chickie babe. Who knows? You never know what just going up and saying hello can do. You might end up with the woman, man, or Wookiee of your dreams. You might end up finding someone that is really going to just make you happy, is going to bring you the most joy you've ever experienced, but you will never know until you take that first step. And again, it could be just saying hello. Look at what Obi-Wan did. He constantly introduced himself with "Hello there," and honestly, that's one of the greatest lines ever, isn't it? It really is. It's just a great, great line, and we love it as Star Wars fans. And if you're as enthusiastic and excited as I am about the Kenobi series coming up later, we're just dying for that moment when he says "Hello there." Oh, good grief! It's going to be fantastic. And honestly, yes. Sir Alec Guinness was fantastic, of course. He's an amazing actor and did so many things in the past that really put him on the pedestal that he deserved. But Ewan McGregor is just as good. My goodness, he's going to be fantastic. It's going to be such a great series. And if the rumors are true about that show, it's going to be great. Okay, so we're not here to talk about that. We'll get to that at some point. So really the goal is to unlearn what you have learned. All of us have our life experiences. We've all gone through things, and we've come across people that have had a negative impact. We've come across people that have had a positive impact. We've gone through experiences in our life that create who we are in this exact moment. But if we are not happy about who we are, if we are not where we want to be, then that's where Yoda's lesson to Luke comes into play, to unlearn what you have learned. We all have a mindset that has been trained and created over years and years and years of experience, and a thought pattern that's been trained to think a certain way. So what that means is you have to actively take steps to restructure your brain, to retrain how you think. Part of that involves consistency. So what that means is you're going to need to take steps that will get you there, and it has to be every day. You cannot take a break from this. An example of what taking a break will do to you is exercise. So let's say you got a fitness goal, right? And you're trying to reach it. You got a program, whether it's at the gym or something you do from home. Personally, I do stuff from home. And you're getting into it, and life happens. And say you've gone 3 or 4 straight weeks, you're feeling good, you're getting the routines down, and yes, it hurts, and yes, it's exhausting, and you're out of breath, and you don't want to do it anymore, but you're seeing results. And then life gets in the way, maybe, you get hurt at work, or you're just tired, or, something stupid happens, and it interrupts your consistency. 1 week off cause you to put a little bit more weight on. It can cause an injury. So you got to be very careful that you don't lose that consistency, that momentum. You have to stay on top of it. You have to find time to be consistent with your goals. In other words, so if you want to get that exercise in, you might have to get up a half hour earlier in the day. You might have to sacrifice some time that maybe you were going to watch a TV show. Maybe you just want to go out and go for a drive. You might have to sacrifice that time to fit in that 30 minutes to get that routine done. But also it's the same when it comes to your mind. You have to be consistent. You might have to sacrifice a few things in order to put into your mind what is going to help retrain your thinking and how you view yourself. So that means you've got to do positive reinforcement. So that means telling yourself that you're good enough. Because if you're like me and maybe you dealt with some childhood abuse, or you were beaten, or you were bullied, you were teased, you were made fun of, you were made to feel like you were absolutely worthless, and then the first girl you ever dated didn't work and you felt like your whole life was going to collapse, it was going to go down the toilet, and just everything felt wrong. Good grief, people, I'm in my 40s and I'm only now learning the importance of doing something every single day that's positive, that I like, to make me feel good about myself. If I had known this 20 years ago, my life would probably be vastly different. So Yoda's advice to unlearn what you've learned is so important, and to do it as early as possible. If you haven't started, start now. Make yourself wicked smart right now. So that means find something that's going to motivate you, whether it's something on YouTube. You got people like Anthony Robbins. There's, I think, Mel Robbins as well. No, they're not related, but they're absolutely fantastic. There's Ray Higdon's a great guy. He's in the network marketing field, but if you want somebody that's going to motivate you and going to kick your butt, he'll do it. There's people out there that can do it. Maybe this platform can motivate you to pursue your goals. There's books out there. One in particular I'm going to recommend is called The Slight Edge. It's a highly motivational book, but it is really designed specifically to restructure your mind and how you think, and taking daily consistent steps towards your goals. But it all starts in your mind and what you think about yourself and what you believe. Because if you're like me, you've gone through those struggles, and it is difficult to believe that you have what it takes. It's difficult to think that anybody would ever take you seriously because you don't take yourself seriously. And I'm here to tell you, you can take yourself seriously. You have every reason to believe that you are greater than what you were trained. You are greater than that. You can overcome any obstacle that is put in front of you. Now, a number of years back, my first marriage collapsed, and it was my fault. I'm the one that messed up. And it took me a long time, one, to forgive myself, but also it took about the same amount of time for me to actually move on from it, because there was consequences to my decisions. And that's something to think about as well, that there's consequences to things you do and say. So you got to be careful about what you act on and what you speak on, because all of that will have an impact in your life, but it will also impact your mindset. So what you do and say is part of your training. So like Yoda said, you've got to unlearn those things. I messed up my first marriage and felt I was a piece of garbage. And there was females I knew at work that basically said that to me. I was like, yeah, you're right. I am. I'm a piece of trash. I was so overwhelmed with guilt that I wanted to kill myself. I really wanted to die. I felt like the pain, the emotional anguish, and the constant negative thinking was just not going to stop. So I felt, you know what, the only way to stop this is just to, cash in my chips. Check out. I just couldn't take it anymore, and I wanted it to just stop. But instead of ending it, I found specific people. They were already friends, but in some cases they became closer friends that became very, very supportive. One of them is now my wife. There's other friends of mine, there's a friend named Eric, good friend of mine. He was there for me 100%. So find individuals that are going to bring the best out of you, that are going to help you see the true potential that lies within you, that are going to motivate you, that are going to kick your butt when you need it to be kicked. Because it doesn't serve anybody any good for you to just sit there and wallow, or sit there and just and not pursue your goals. You deserve to succeed. You deserve to become that great Jedi Master. You deserve to really reach levels that you never thought were possible. You deserve to wake up every single day feeling great about yourself, feeling amazing, feeling fantastic, feeling absolutely positive, and taking that positive energy and spreading it around the world. Because that negative energy will constantly hold you back. Can you, though, unlearn what you have learned? Absolutely you can. Absolutely. If you stay consistent. And if you keep your mind plugged in to positive stuff, and rebuild, retrain, reconstruct that awesome, amazing computer that sits on top of your shoulders. Thank you so much for taking time to listen to my podcast. I hope you got something encouraging from it. I hope you found it motivating. I hope it was entertaining. And I hope it tells you that you can keep moving forward and you don't have to quit. I got through it. You can get through it. You absolutely can. Thank you again for listening in. If you have listened to this via YouTube, please do me a favor, smash that like button. Feel free to comment below. And go ahead and press that subscribe button as well. That way, anytime I upload something, you'll be the first to know about it. And I appreciate all of you. Thank you again for listening in. Have a great day. And may the force be with you.